So, you're implementing response to intervention and some of your students are not making adequate progress in Tier 1. Here's what you should do. Hi, I'm Julia Ferrari. I'm an expert on learning disabilities and education at the LD Institute, and I'm passionate about ensuring that students with LDs reach their full potential. Today, I'm going to talk to you about Tier 2 instruction. RTI is a framework for efficiently meeting the needs of all students, in particular those with or at risk for learning disabilities. Within RTI, students receive instruction that is closely matched to their needs in increasingly intensive tiers. If you would like more information about RTI, please check out our video titled Response to Intervention. What is Tier 2? In Tier 2, students receive evidence-based intervention in the area in which they struggle. Intervention is usually provided by the general education teacher. The purpose of Tier 2 instruction is to provide supplemental support to struggling students who are not responding to Tier 1 or regular classroom instruction. Who receives Tier 2 instruction? RTI works because not all students need the same level of instructional support to be successful. We would expect that 5 to 10% of students need Tier 2 instruction in order to be successful. Students requiring Tier 2 instruction can be identified based on their level of performance, for example, by comparing their score to an established benchmark norm, or based on their rate of growth on progress monitoring measures. What constitutes Tier 2? Tier 2 instruction is more intensive than Tier 1. Here are 4 ways to make instruction more intensive. 1. Frequent progress monitoring. Universal screening takes place 3 times per year in Tier 1. In Tier 2, only students who have been identified as at risk are assessed. However, their progress is monitored frequently, weekly or every 2 weeks. The data is crucial for making instructional decisions. Curriculum-based measures, or CBMs, are often used to monitor progress of academic skills because they are quick to administer and have demonstrated reliability. Teacher observations combined with checklists are also an efficient means of monitoring student behavior. 2. Small group instruction. Whereas in Tier 1, instruction takes place in the whole class, Tier 2 instruction takes place in small groups of 3 to 5 or up to 8 students for 20 to 30 minutes per day, 3 to 5 days per week. Tier 2 intervention typically lasts 8 to 15 weeks. In small groups, teachers should use evidence-based instructional strategies, including giving corrective feedback, questioning, peer-mediated instruction, and explicit instruction, which I will talk about in more detail. 3. More opportunities to respond. Several studies have found that one aspect of student engagement, known as academic responding, is closely tied to student achievement. By providing students with more opportunities to respond, they are more likely to learn and master new skills. Responding can occur orally, either individually or as a group, which is known as choral response, in writing, or with nonverbal cues such as a thumbs up. In Tier 2, we aim for 6 to 8 opportunities to respond per minute to ensure a high enough level of engagement for students to practice new skills. Of course, experiencing success is important to students' self-esteem, but it is also crucial to the mastery of new skills, which is the goal of instruction. To ensure student success, teachers must be mindful in selecting tasks as well as how quickly students progress from one skill to the next. As such, a rule of thumb for determining if a student is working at an appropriate level is that students should be at least 90% successful on review material. Achieving this level of mastery indicates that a new skill can be introduced. 4. Reteach and review. Tier 2 instruction focuses on reteaching and reviewing concepts taught in Tier 1 in a more explicit manner. By providing additional opportunities to review and practice, struggling students have the chance to master those skills and catch up to their peers. What is explicit instruction? Explicit instruction is an evidence-based, systematic way of teaching strategies and skill. This is a strategy that can be implemented across all 3 tiers and is especially useful for efficiently meeting the needs of students with or at risk for learning disabilities in Tiers 2 and 3. Explicit instruction involves 3 sequential steps. Modeling. First, the teacher demonstrates the skill or strategy and shows the student what they must do. Research has shown that combining demonstrating and thinking aloud is very effective. So as they demonstrate the strategy, the teacher talks through their reasoning for choosing the particular strategy and how they are applying it. Guided practice. The next step of explicit instruction is guided practice. Through guided practice, students can verify and consolidate their understanding of new skills by connecting it with what they already know. Students typically work in small groups and receive feedback from the teacher to ensure that they understood the lesson or that they are applying the new strategy or skill correctly. For example, how to use a new reading comprehension strategy, which helps to build confidence and motivation. Independent practice. Finally, through independent practice, students can apply what they have learned from the modeling and guided practice steps. Students have the opportunity to test out their understanding in order to achieve mastery with the goal of consolidating their learning. Tier 2 instruction is meant to provide targeted support for students who struggle to meet grade level expectations. The goal of Tier 2 is to remediate skills deficits with the idea that in doing so, students will be able to succeed in Tier 1 without support. For more information about tiered instruction, check out our videos on implementing Tier 1 and 3. As well, you can find information about RTI more generally in our introductory video titled Response to Intervention.